The bass drum can be approached a couple of different ways. You can have your bass drum beater, again a little bit heavier than a snare drum stick with a larger beater at the end of it. And we're going to be hitting the head around the same spot that we do with the snare drum. But instead of playing down like this to start off with, we're playing off on the side. So we're going to still have the same kind of stroke as what we do going down here, but we're just turning our hand a little bit, and we're just going to go back and forth this way. So the student can still be used to their match grip, but it's going to be over this way. Go ahead and have the student put their hand around right here on top of the drum, and just have them start hitting the drum very lightly. See what the best sound they can create by hitting the drum. I like to think about just a little bit off the center, because the center is the nodal point of the bass drum. And there's definitely times in music where you definitely need to hit this spot, because it's some very, very lush sounds that we can create. But I like to get a little bit more of the drum head to ring, so I like to play a little bit off to the side. So I like to have them start off this way so they can hear how the drum can ring. Now, the problem with having a drum rings, we need to figure out how to get the drum to stop ringing. So there's a couple different ways. This bass drum holder is a very nice device. I have a little lever over here that I can change the different angles on the bass drum that I want to. But it also has a place for me to put my foot up on. Now, if you have a place like this on your bass drum stand, we can definitely use this. If not, we're going to start having this more up and down. We can just go with our leg just up a little bit raised. We want to try to find a way to create the lack of sound. So as soon as we hit the drum, we're going to break off that sound. So we can have our hand over on this other side so that we can dampen the sound over this way. But take a listen to this. We can still hear the sound ring. Same thing over here. Still hear some sound over here. But if we use both the hand and the leg, I'm going to use this little foot ledge right here. We can get more of a dampening sound. You can also toss in your other hand this way too. And the bass drum beater, when we dampen with our hand, can just be off on the side. Now, if we want to get a really big sound, this time I'm going to go ahead and tilt this bass drum a little bit. We can think about some different spots on the bass drum to create some different types of sounds, especially if we're doing, say, like a roll on the bass drum. Now, you can do a roll with one mallet, but it's a lot easier to roll with two mallets. So I would recommend getting a pair of mallets that are equally matched. And you can either use your match grip to start rolling around the outside of the drum. I don't like to roll in the center because that's the nodal spot and it doesn't really like to ring that much over there. But I like to roll a little bit around the outside to create some good tension on that drum. So it can either use match grip or it can use traditional grip. Traditional grip, I think, works very well. The young percussionist, you may or may not want to start talking about traditional grip, but I think it is a good way of producing a good roll sound on the bass drum.